My new PS4 got delivered, so I've been setting it up. I'm going to practice DBD for Community Day. Fuck yes, Noonchi. Fuck yes. That's amazing. Atamazuko, thank you for gifting that sub to Genghis Chungus. Oh man, thank you for that. If you're going to consume anything along those lines, have a buddy there. Yeah, I generally suggest that. Like, imagine getting fucking slammed drunk for your first time ever completely by yourself. Imagine one night, you're fucking 22, you're home by yourself, and you're just gonna get fucking blasted drunk all by yourself at home. Think of all the awful things that could happen. You could literally die. 22, I don't know. In Canada, I think it's 18 or something like that. I'm just trying to pick a legal age. I don't know. Imagine you are legally allowed to drink wherever you are. And the first time you decide to get fucking blasted drunk, you do it completely by yourself. Think of how fucking bad that could be. You could literally kill yourself. It could be me getting drunk alone for the first time. I'm just saying, you can see the dangers, right? Then it's so easy to see how dangerous that could be. So take that kind of precaution in everything. I feel that TechSmith can vouch that when chemically broken down, there's no difference between indica and sativa. Yeah, correct. Yeah, they've done the metabolomics and you can't tell chemically the difference between indica and sativa. Just sitting in an enclosed dentist's office sent me into what I first recognized was a panic attack. Anything can cause a break. Bleeping bleps. I had the same thing sitting in a hospital room with a friend. I had a full fucking panic attack. Hospitals trigger my panic attacks like insane. I like reeling the new ones in with false sense of security with gifted subs. I appreciate that. Atamazuko. Also, I love the fish and Volos. That's perfect. The perfect combination of emotes. Okay. Next question. That was an excellent question, Kartuki. Thank you so much. It's a fantastic question. It's something that needs to be studied and looked at and analyzed and taken care of because it is a very, very important question. Just Jaguar PM says, is ice a rock? And if so, does that make water lava? Yeah, it's water lava. Absolutely. Yeah, no, in all senses of the word, absolutely. Water is lava. Okay. Omitted Soul says, why is it that sound can have such an impact on a person? I hate taking my headphones off. I need music or someone talking to keep me from freaking out. Sometimes it's not enough or works too well, but I'm thinking about silence is much worse. That's such an interesting question. Why is the sound can have such an impact? I wonder if it has something to do with like a aloneness or like humans being a social creature, needing sound to feel like you're part of a social construct, and silence feels very empty and alone. I wonder if that's it. I don't have a good answer to that, and I've never even experienced that. So that's such an interesting question. If I had to guess, I would think it's because humans are social creatures. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. VB Green, thank you for the 15 months. Man, I can't sleep in silence. No, me neither, but that's mostly because of my tinnitus. If ever there's silence, my ears just ring so loud it's deafening. Wonder Boy has a question. What do you think about the theory that psychedelic mushrooms were originally from space? There's some studies that suggest they got here right around the time Early humans' brains grew dramatically more complex. Yeah, Wonderboy, I've heard that. I have not done the study. One of these days, I want to do a study because I bet you phylogenetics can disprove that pretty quick. I bet you I could literally, from my computer, run a phylogenetics study showing evolution of psychedelic mushrooms. And if I couldn't, I would be much more compelled to believe that they came from space or something. But I bet you with phylogenetics, you can trace them way, way back. I could do that on stream, I bet. It'd be boring as fuck, but I could stream a phylogenetics experiment. It would take a while. I'd probably need to practice things. That'd actually be kind of a fun stream. That's actually kind of a fun idea. It would be super boring for a lot of you guys, but I think it would be interesting to see the... what the frick? I think it would be interesting for you guys to just see phylogenetics. See the basics of, and then have it explained. Like, I'd run the full phylogenetics. We'd probably do a small one. I don't think we'd get a super great answer because the tree building programs would take forever. And the alignments are usually pretty quick, but that would be pretty fun. Do you think drugs had an influence on the evolution of the brain? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All sorts of drugs were used by people all over the world a long, long time ago. They definitely had some sort of impact. I don't know what that means, but I'm down. It's basically, so I guess so here's a basic explanation of phylogenetics. I look at the genetic code of a magic mushroom, right? I get a magic mushroom DNA code. Then I stick it into a database and I say, hey, database, what other DNA codes look like this one? And it just spits out a billion fucking DNA codes. Then I get all these billion DNA codes and I say, hey, alignment program, show me how these kind of look like each other. Where are the gaps? Where does it align? Show me how they look like each other. It aligns them and it splits up the DNA and aligns it. It's like these are all similar parts. And I take that and I say, hey, tree building program, build me a tree based on these alignments that says which ones of these are most closely related to each other. And it builds a big tree and it says these three are most closely related to each other. And then there's another branch over here with these four, which are most closely related to each other. And these two trees have a common ancestor here, kind of thing. And it's just a way to show the relatedness of all these Ancestry.com, kind of like Ancestry.com, except with DNA instead of handwriting samples. And so that's basically phylogenetics. It uses DNA to show the relatedness. And I would love to do that on stream for you guys one time. Computers are our ancestors? Confirmed. Okay, RM, love with the question. How come I only get the flu if I take the vaccine? Other than that, it seems I'm immune. You get the flu. That's honestly, that's fucking bad luck. So if you take the flu vaccine, you are immunized against these 27 strains of the flu. And when you get sick, it's because it was one of the strains that wasn't in the vaccine. And then if you don't take the vaccine, then it could be a strain that you already are immune to, or it could be that you just didn't get exposed. So I would say that seems like a case of fucking bad luck. If every time you take the flu, or every time you take the vaccine, you get the flu. It's just fucking badass luck, unfortunately. Uh, 21st Century Furbolg says, as a sommelier, I would like to know if you have any cool science facts about wine. I don't have a ton of cool science facts about wine. Mostly the stuff that everybody already knows. That it's got terpenes in it that help give it some of the tart flavor. That it's got flavonoids that help with the kind of God, I don't know the right words. That kind of flat affect on the tongue are a lot of the flavonoids, and that it's got a bunch of antioxidants in it, which are good for you. But other than that, I don't actually know a ton of the chemistry behind wine. I would love to know it though. But are any wines made of strawberry? You'd have to ask Milton. He seems to be the expert on strawberries in wine. They use fish guts to clarify wine? Wait, what? What? Really? How can Princess Peach exist when there's no known human king or queen, really? So I guess basically the king and queen would have died and Princess Peach is still waiting to go through the coronation ceremony. So in essence, she has to be the queen because the king and queen are dead. But because she hasn't gone through the ceremony, she's still just a princess, waiting for her frickin' coronation ceremony so she can become Queen Peach. Look at Princess Mononoke. Her mom is a wolf. According to Super Mario Brothers 3, there are human kings. Oh, interesting. Isinglass is isinglass is a form of gelatin derived from fish bladders. It's primarily used to clear white wines. Very interesting. I did not know that. They use fish gut and blood to clarify wine. Wow, I had no idea. That's fucking nuts. Kale Corn says, when will we shrink hippos to pet size? That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would take some real genetic modification, though. I think we'd get some pretty fucked up hippos if we started fucking with their genetics to make them small. I think they'd get real fucked up. I think we'd get some fucked up non hippos. Okay. Why does pineapple taste so great on pizza? Okay, someone could just ban Gadnar. Psychos and perverts are predisposed to like the taste of pineapple on pizza. Song of Storm says, is a hamburger a sandwich? Yes. Oh, that's good. I am a pervert. Live in your truth then. Good. Imagine having a cat-sized bear. How adorable. I don't know, man. I feel like even a cat-sized bear would be dangerous, man. Bears are fucking dangerous. Stepdad Ron says, where do noodles stop being noodles and start being pasta? Whoa! Hey, VCN, thank you for the tier 2 for 18 months. I came in at a weird time. Hey, VCN, how you doing? We're having some science stream. When do noodles stop being noodles and start being pasta? They are pasta. Pasta. Noodles is pasta. Having been around bear cubs, yes, they are. Right, Atom? It's because pineapple enzymes tenderize the meat, so it pairs well with ham. You see, I just use my teeth to tenderize the meat, so I don't need nasty ass fucking pineapple on there. Why do you and Milton call people perverts about such mundane things? Sounds like a question a pervert would ask, Wonder Boy. Fucking pervert. Tempestrous says, get your science question. Why do pineapples, also apparently now weed, make certain body parts or fluids taste differently? Yeah, Tempestrous, we covered this earlier in the day, and basically I don't know. It's stored in fat cells, but also remember that it's not the THC and CBD, it's actually the terpenes that give the flavors. And I don't know why that happens. But the story that I told earlier, and I can tell again, is that apparently if you smoke a lot of weed, like a lot of weed, or, you know, eat a lot of pineapple or things, I guess, with a lot of terpenes in them, performing oral sex on the person who's done a lot of that, they taste like that. So performing oral sex on someone who smokes a lot of weed means that they taste like weed. Yeah. So I think it has something to do with the fact that terpenes don't get processed by the body So guys, eat a lot of pineapple. There you go. I'm in and out, but I remember this from earlier. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy one. Who likes the taste of weed? Let me suck that weed right off of you. Oh my God. I've got some science to do. Be back later. I have a question I want to ask in relation to that, but it might be a bit much. I think as long as it's scientifically worded, I think we're okay. We can get a little bit lewd, but we're just handling it in a scientific way. Okay, stream done now. But yeah, so I think it has something to do with the fact that terpenes don't get processed by the body very quickly, and they just end up stored in fat sources and stuff like that. Do you think it's the same between either set of genitalia or just the male kind? Both. Yep, both. Atemazuko. Both. I've read enough to know that it is both. Hey, Bammy! Welcome, Raiders! We're just talking about weed and oral sex, so you've come at the right time. Just talking dank peens. We're just talking about some dank peens. And dank vajayjays, honestly, because both technically pick up the flavor of all the weed you've been smoking. Welcome, Raiders. We are normally like this. Thank you, Cranker. We are normally like this. Kush puss? Oh my God. So anyways, what is the anatomical description of a beepus? Any sexual part of your body. Oh my God. What if I licked your armpit? Would I taste weed? Yeah, I think no, actually I don't know. I think listen, it gets a little lewd, okay? But I think it's because the skin is very thin and has very high blood flow in those areas. That's why you can taste it. So that's the answer. Listen, you asked, I'm just answering. It's a science stream. It's a science stream. I'm just answering questions, damn it. Oh God, what did I press? What did I press? We're fine. You know this for a fact? I actually don't. I've just read it. Okay, Song of Storms says, my brother has paranoid schizophrenia. Will we one day understand it better, I hope? I think so, Song of Storms. Someday I think we will. But God, the stuff with the brain is so complicated. I think eventually we will. Why did you not make a tech guy, the science guy theme song for today? You have the technology? Listen, that's too much work. I don't have the time for that. Grandma Campbell says, is water wet? No, it just makes other things wet. It holds the essence of wetness, but it only puts the wetness onto other things. It itself is not wet. Tech barely has time to poop. Exactly, Bacon. Exactly. Hey, honeybee, what did I just join? We're just talking about weed and oral sex. Don't worry about it. K.O. Corin says, Milty once brought up people creating super AI at home. Do you think singularity will be found by some random person at home or from research and business sectors? How do you think it will affect the outcome of a singularity? You mean the first true sentient AI? I don't know. I think it's going to be born from the internet. I don't think somebody's going to accidentally make it. I think knowledge and learning and existence is so complicated. I don't think it can happen by a single person. I think it'll happen from a conglomeration of information. And I won't be able to make independent thought in a long time. Yeah, it might happen quickly, but I don't think it'll be something that one person can do. I think it will. I think it'll happen as that. See, there is a complete melding of computers and the human brain, allowing upload consciousness. Oh, that'll be a very conscious effort. I think we will complete a true AI that will teach us how to do that. But it'll be a trick, and we'll actually download our consciousness into nothing, and the computers will download themselves into our brains. It'll be a trick. AI is going to trick us into deleting ourselves and taking over our bodies. Okay. Chubrock Geek with a question. If you guys have questions, there's a channel point reward for 100 channel points, and that's how you put your questions in. So just redeem that with your question, and I'm just going through the list of all the science questions that have been redeemed. It's just easier for me to kind of get through them that way. Okay. Chubrock Geek says science is meant to be falsified and tested. Facts in science change all the time. But what sciences do we have zero argument over that's irrefutable fact? Nothing? What science do we have zero argument over that's irrefutable fact? It's just, I don't think anything is irrefutable, just things have not been refuted, right? Gravity? I mean, gravity is something that has not been refuted yet. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible to be refuted. It just means that we haven't been able to yet. So I don't think there's anything that's an irrefutable fact. Everything can be refuted. We just haven't done it yet. Everything is just true as of now. Code Little says, if you haven't already spoken about it, what are your thoughts on Delta 8? Yeah, Code Little, I talked about it a little bit, and I'll talk about it now just briefly. The difference between Delta 8 THC and Delta 9 THC is just where the double bond is in the compound. But the way that it's made, Delta 9 is just extracted from the plant. Delta 8 is formed by an isomerization reaction that is unregulated and poorly managed and poorly tested. And potentially there's a lot of dangerous stuff in amongst Delta 8, as well as the fact that we don't know what Delta 8 does to the human body in addition to its already existing conditions. So Delta 8 is a little bit of a mystery, and anyone who says that it's not is lying to you. So be careful with Delta 8. I know it's legal and Delta 9 is illegal, but be careful, because there's a lot of crazy shit that could be in there with Delta 8, and no amount of testing will ever show you that it's safe. Silent One says, how does your science mind correlate the double slit experiment with, say, the creation of the universe? Does it support the idea of multiverse? Does it support that we live in a simulation? I don't know what the double slit experiment is. Oh, yeah. Light and matter can display characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles. Yeah, this is something that I guess maybe I must not know enough about, because we've always kind of understood electrons to exist as both waves and particles. So I always thought that we knew that matter existed, some parts of matter existed as both waveforms and particles. So I would need to learn more about the double slit experiment, because to me it seems like it's not a huge revelation, but everyone's losing their mind, so I must be missing something. But just worth saying, the idea of multiverse. So here's the problem with the multiverse. Here's the problem with the multiverse. How many multiverses are there? And why only that number? I can't even think. You'd think there'd just be infinite, but there can't be infinite, because in one of them, they'd learn how to destroy the multiverse, so we wouldn't exist. But then also in one of them, they would have learned how to stop the destruction of the infinite universes. But then in another, they would have learned how to stop the stopping of the destruction of the universe. So we're here. I know, right? And my nose is bleeding. That's just it. So there can't be infinite, because an infinite would be is a theoretical, right? There has to be a number. So I don't know. Stop, my brain can only take so much. I know. I thought about that a lot. So I don't know, man. Maybe destruction of the multiverse is impossible? Maybe. I mean, maybe that's the explanation, but I feel like if it's infinite, then it can't be impossible. 42 multiverses? Maybe it's just 42. Maybe it's toroidal and destruction and creation is baked in? Maybe. As long as the number of destroy universes minus the save universes is 0, it is possible. God, I don't know, man. That's too much for my dumb little brain to try to fucking comprehend. It's interesting, but I don't know that I can wrap my brain around it without really sitting and thinking about it. It's a finite number of infinite universes. Don't even try. Now my brain hurts. Trevor Geek says, what are your thoughts on things like astrology and other things like it? I think it's fun and it's neat. I don't think there's a lot of evidence to support it's real in any way. That being said, I don't know. I would be open to somebody convincing me of astrology. There was this one thing that I thought was, so I took, in one of my university courses, they dedicated a day to astrology. And talking about how complete garbage, nonsense, useless, fake, made-up mumbo-jumbo nonsense it is. Then at the very end, they said, just for you to know, though, every Olympic gold medalist has been born under a Mars sign. And I was like, ah, damn. Damn it. What are the fucking chances of that then? So, I don't know. I think astrology's fun. I think you don't have to feel strongly about it one way or another. Every single one, that's what they said. I don't know. Either way, it's fun. It's fun. I don't really care all that much. I think it's enjoyable. Just a sec, something weird happened. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, it's fun. What's my horoscope? The Aquarius. I'm Aquarius. But yeah, so anyways, I think astrology's fun. I don't think it holds a whole lot of water. But it's fun. It's fun. I'm Gemini and Twin. I find that fun. I don't base my life on it, but it can be harmless to look at. Exactly, Temazuko. Aren't you a Capricorn? No, Milton's a Capricorn. I'm an Aquarius. The thing is some people take it a bit too seriously. Exactly, right? So I would love if somehow somebody could pull up astrology and I think it's all garbage when I go read my horoscope now. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, well, why don't you just tell me something that I don't like? If a horoscope is just going to tell me about myself, I already know that. If it's going to tell me about things that I've gone through, well, I already know that. Now, if it's going to tell me the future, I'm interested. And a lot of horoscopes do try to tell the future, but they tell it in weird, ambiguous terms that could mean anything. No. Give me a horoscope that tells me some hard facts about like what? I don't know. Give me something interesting. Like, tell me 5 years ago that I was going to go biking yesterday. I like running my tarot. I think it's the process of it that I find soothing. I don't really pay much attention to my results. Exactly, Viv. I think it's fun. I think it's harmless. I think you can just have some fun with it. You will stream tomorrow? Oh, God. Is that on my horoscope? But yeah, so anyways, I think it's fun. Yeah, exactly, Falrod. I think personal bias plays a huge factor into it. Why did no one's horoscope mention a fucking pandemic? What a good question. Why did nobody's fucking horoscope tell us about fucking COVID coming in? All the fucking horoscopes, and none of them told us. You're gonna stub your toe really hard next Tuesday. Remember this moment? Oh my god. Mandible Bander says, why they call them fingers, but why don't they fing? What? I don't understand that question. Full Metal says, excited about JWST. Just wait. Shit thoughts? I don't know what JWST is. James Webb Space Telescope. What the fuck is that? Big old space telescope? Big old space telescope? I think that's cool. I think anything that lets us see more stuff in space is a good thing. However, I have been talking a little bit how it's like, it's almost like our technology for exploring deep space has exceeded our ability to explain deep space. So we're seeing and experiencing more shit in there than we can possibly explain. VB Green, is genetic science to the point where we humans should start modifying our DNA artificially? Oof. Could we? Potentially. Should we? Ooh, that's a question for the philosophers, man. That's a question for the philosophers. I don't know. No, not right now. Yeah, maybe we're probably, yeah, that's probably a good point. We're not really at the point where we could well and properly and effectively and safely. Obviously, some scientists can't handle the power of CRISPR. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think the technology is good enough. And, yeah, we're not ready for that. I think also, yeah, we're not ready for that. I think with the amount of bigotry that we have in the world, we're not ready for DNA modification. We are so hung up on so much bigotry, that I don't think we're ready for, DNA modification. May have already done it, yeah, but not on a large scale kind of thing. Eugenics 2.0, yeah, yeah. Was your database cross-reference pre-Homo sapien species, Kyle Gray School, about the phylogenetics for magic mushrooms? Yeah, I would do probably a couple blast searches. I would do like fungus, plants, bacteria, animals, and run a bunch of different trees. I like doing phylogenetics on a bunch of different trees. Metallica has a question. What mental illness is it where you're so triggered by broth that it makes you hate soup? It's called being woke. It's this genetic mutation where I am fucking woke. And the rest of you just need to fucking wake the hell up. CodeJ92, is there science to back paranormal activity such as ghosts or demons? And where do you stand on that? No, there's not really any science to back paranormal activity right now. A lot of it is adjacent kind of technology kind of thing. That's right. It's because I'm fucking woke.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get
up. Okay. So basically, no, there's not science to back paranormal activity, really. A lot of it is circumstantial, a lot of it is adjacent, and it's testing for tests, not testing for ghosts. It's testing for tests, and then therefore tests mean ghosts. Not well substantiated. Where do I stand on that? The evidence doesn't say it. The evidence doesn't say it exists, but I like to leave a little bit of room for magic. I like to leave a little bit of room for magic in my belief of the universe. There's enough stuff that we don't know, and a scientist knows that we don't know enough, and so I will say there's no scientific support of it, and I don't base any of my life on it, but magic is great. Gives people hope and creativity. Yeah, I just, like, think of it like this, right? Think of it like this. When I say magic, I couch that term a lot. So because in science we can never know anything, right? We think very strongly. We have things that have not been refuted. We have things that seem to explain a lot, but we know we don't know everything. And so in that little area of even the things that we know really, really well, but we can't know everything, I just leave that little bit of room for, like, I don't know, fucking magic. So I just leave a little bit of room for magic. I'm a scientist. I don't believe in ghosts and demons, really. I don't believe in astrology, really. But I don't know for a fact that it doesn't exist. So I leave a little bit of room in there just in case. Anyway, everyone should leave a little bit of room just in case. You never know. Bacon says, how come we don't have hot snow falling up? Not enough pressure. We need a big old pressure cooker in this old world here, Bacon. If we had enough pressure, we could have hot snow falling up. You want magic? Gravity. Basically, our only explanation for gravity these days, magic. Full Metal talked about the James Webb Space Telescope. There we go. Yeah. Big old fucking space telescope. Gonna get us looking at all sorts of shit. Whole bunch of shit that I don't understand. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fucking cool, man. I don't know much about it though. I'm gonna have to look into it. I love space stuff though. I'm all about that space stuff. Code says, an old question, but do we know yet if we can taste soy sauce from our balls? My God, I don't think so, but I have not run that test yet on myself. Isn't gravity that huge masses have a pull? Yeah, Tina, the thing is like the specifics of how and why, there's no explanation for. We know what it is. We know we can observe it, we can measure it, but we don't know how and why, which is interesting. I've run that test before and the taste is actually amplified. Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. This is a fun song. Bleeping Bleps, how is it that some humans are addicted to feeling sadness while others happiness? And then there are the adrenaline junkies. You'd think most humans would be addicted to serotonin or dopamine, right? Oof, good question. Addiction is a huge fucking can of worms. There are so many factors and types of addiction that people can be addicted to many different things for many different reasons. And some of them are social, some of them are cultural, some of them are chemical, some of them are there's probably as many different reasons for addiction as there are addictions, unfortunately. Sometimes being sad gets people attention, and they're addicted to the attention that sadness brings them. Isn't there a theory that addiction has a basis in reuptake issues in the neuroreceptors? It depends on the kind of addiction. Or like some people can be addicted to a chemical compound because they get sick without it. Some people can be addicted to things because it gives them a shot of happiness. Some people can be addicted for, there's just so many reasons for addiction. Addiction's everywhere. Absolutely, it is everywhere, and it's very poorly understood. Some forms are very well understood, but a lot of forms aren't. Pain is the same. Addicted to TechSmith streams. Vanguard says, how do I science? Basically, you get water, you mix salt, and you have science. Can I get a high five? You absolutely can. There you go. I hurt my hands. Honeybee Forever, why haven't they identified the gene responsible for HEDS? I was diagnosed in 2017. Have they not identified the gene, Honeybee? Wow. I really thought they had identified the gene responsible for Ehlers-Danlos. I'm shocked that they haven't. Huh. That's very interesting to me. Not for hypermobile yet. Wow. That's such a fucking bummer. I guess maybe it just hasn't got the kind of funding to get the research. That's a bummer. Damn. Fabulous Rabbit Man says, so why do some flowers change color in the cold weather? I would assume that is probably certain genes for carotenoid and flavonoid productions being activated and deactivated in certain temperatures. Enzymes can be active, or cascade events can be triggered based on temperature, and that'll be the production of the colors. Is my educated guess. I did do a lot of plant science in university, so it's a relatively well-educated guess, but I could be wrong. Scooter Beach, pizza has a crust, earth has a crust, pizza is flat. Doesn't this prove that the earth is flat? Flawless fucking logic. I don't see any problem with that logic. Why does really hot water feel super cold at first, then burn? I think it feels cold because it's a saturation of the nerves. I think the nerves get overloaded, and the default response is cold at first, and then it triggers the heat receptors. Some is cell damage. Oh yeah, it could be cell damage too. Absolutely, it's a good point. Why do people come back from the baby changing stations with the same baby? They did it wrong. God, what the fuck? Could you imagine going to a baby changing station, coming back with the same fucking baby? It's like, why did you even go there? Das Love Robot saying, how would you describe a color to a blind person? A feeling? I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't know that I could describe a color to a blind person. Sense? I don't know. I think I would do a very bad job. I think I would I think I would only ever associate them with the color. Like, I would associate the colors with the things that I've experienced those colors being primarily. Slaps face, that's red. Yeah, there you go. Throw water in face, that's blue. Hard to tell the difference between cold and hot in first reaction without context. Can convince someone they're being burned by touching with a popsicle while blindfolded. Yeah, I think heat and cold receptors are part of the process, right? But like, you can get a cold burn, right? You can get a cold burn at some point. A hot and a cold both do cell damage, and so pain is just pain because of cell damage. So Falrot says, if I take the molding pieces of a boat and replace it with new pieces one by one, but then repair the original pieces and make a second boat out of it, which is the original boat? Both are the original boat. Neither is the original boat. But Did we really run out of music again? Wow. Okay, we'll just go back up here. I would say the moldings of the boat are not the original boat. To put it simply. The one that uses the original pieces is the original boat. Psychedelic says, have you heard of the color theory where two people can look at the color purple, but what they view from their eyes is different color than purple? For example, I can see the color purple as blue, person B can see the purple as purple. There's no real way to test it, but some people who think certain colors go well together, while some don't, might be a way to test. Then again, it's preference too. Yeah, the subjectivity of an experiment, of an experience, is an untestable thing. And basically, we just agree to a set of definitions. I look at this, I say, this is red. Now, what you're seeing is actually green, but you call it red. And so, you know, the subjectivity of an experience is kind of an untestable but interesting concept. I remember I had that first thought when I was in grade 7 and I was snowboarding. I was looking at the sign showing the different difficulties of the slopes, and I, for absolutely no reason, I was just like, I wonder if when I see that, what was it? I think it was blue or yellow. I was like, when I see that yellow, does he actually see yellow too? Or is that just what I see and I think that's yellow? But it's super interesting. Stepdad Run says, why is it our biggest problem is you're not me, aka the whole bigotry example? Is it for our like herd protection, or is it really just stupidity? I think the biggest problem with bigotry, boy, it's obviously this is a tough question to really answer, and we're not going to do it justice. I would say the biggest problem is cultural and social teachings. We generally put people in charge who are people with prejudices and beliefs, and can make conclusions based on lack of information or personal goals, and those then get propagated due to survival mechanics. I think it's a tough question, man. Tough question. I don't have a good answer for it. Can't hear certain bass tones. Oh no. KO Corn, I think there should be a subtitle option. Oh, IRL subtitles. IRL subtitles would be nice. Survivalism to an extent, then it goes into stupidity. Yeah. It, like, the tentativeness, the hesitation, the wariness comes from survivalism, but then beyond that is just stupidity. You're good, you pixie. Oh. There are people out there that can see colors. Most of us can't even imagine because our brains aren't capable of imagining such colors. It doesn't mean they don't exist on our physical plane of existence. Oh, absolutely, Lexus. Absolutely. It's like we can't even see into the infrared spectrum, and it exists. There are entire beings that exist by seeing in that spectrum. So, you know, it has a lot to do with physical structure, right? They exist, and we just experience it in the way our physical bodies are constructed, and that's the limit of our experience. Is the white ink truly white? I know, exactly, right? That's the question, man. Another science question. My dad is a hemophiliac and I'm a carrier. Do you think CRISPR gene editing will become a viable treatment or cure in the near future? Near future? I don't know. Zilia, I don't know. Near future could be tough. I think it absolutely could be a treatment eventually, but I don't know about near future. Medical science is kind of moving so quickly that it's hard to tell. Maybe it's hard to predict. You can't project very far into medical science because it's accelerating in such crazy fits and spurts that anticipating is almost impossible. But I hope so. I hope so. I hope something comes around that would help us with that. Been listening to the stream today while I catch up on some rest. I feel tired for you. You must be exhausted. Hey, this is a big old brain stretch. We're in our last set of questions now. I'm just gonna do this. What is this song? Okay, I've disabled the question request. I'm going to make our way through what we've got because I think this will take us to the end for sure. But yeah, no, definitely it's a lot of talking and it's a lot of thinking. Twisted Logic says, you ever wonder if people see shades of color differently? Oh, yeah. We just talked about that. Do you think terraforming Mars is something plausible? Not right now. Maybe eventually. I think we have the technology where we could do it eventually, but not with our current technology. But, 50 years from now, maybe. It's possible. I think a big part goes into funding and desire and public buy-in. Vanguard says, so Tech, are we living in a simulation? Confirmed. Chalmers, David Chalmers. That's the philosopher that I was trying to think of the name of. David Chalmers proved, yes, we're living in a simulation. Thank God I remembered his fucking name. Kale Corrin says, how many lab coats have you stolen? I didn't steal this. I bought this. It's mine. I own this. How did he prove that? It's nonsense. He just proved that the rules of a computer program are the exact same rules of our universe in that it's coded in binary. And so what it's a simulation of and all that stuff, it is identical to a computer program. We just don't know what we're plugged into or who turned on the on button. Even if the universe is a simulation, it means nothing to our lives. Yeah, exactly. That's just it. It's just, we do live in a simulation, but it has no bearing on anything. It doesn't, it's kind of a useless proof. Yeah, it means nothing. But it's just a fun thing. We're still here, even if it is, that's just it. It has no bearing on anything. It doesn't affect reality at all. But it's a fun little proof. Can you please live demo the soy sauce theory for science? I cannot. Effluent. I will not live demo dipping my balls in soy sauce. Dr. Hayes says, if the FDA and CDC are recommending not taking the J&J COVID vaccine, does that mean they're anti-vaxxers now? My God. No, I don't think that's the case. You think the simulation theory might actually be a sneak creationist theory in high-tech disguise? Ooh, maybe. Maybe. Have you heard about the evidence for a potential fifth force coming from the Fermilab? I don't even know what that is. What the fuck is the Fermilab? The fuck? Oh, is that the fucking like large hadron collider thing? That'd be neat. I doubt it, but that'd be neat. That'd be cool. It's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible. That'd be neat. I've seen the insane footage from the Mars rover. I have not seen the insane footage from the Mars rover, actually. Oops. I really do need to go look at it because I think that'd be super neat to see. But I have not seen it yet. Just gotta fix this. Oh, that's too big. It's too big, Chad. I can't fit it. I can't fit it in there. It's too big. There we go. Wow, that was really bright on my eyeballs. Didn't they create a black hole, or was that just a silly rumor? That was just a silly rumor. There was the theory that perhaps the colliding could cause a black hole, but it didn't actually happen. Sure about the Russian scientist who stuck his head inside an active particle accelerator? No, it sounds terrifying. Can I ask a science question? Okay, Ace Emily Gamer, you get the last science question for the day. What's the question, Ace Emily Gamer? Hit me with your science. 10K mini cactopod. You know, I never play cactopod. I should really play that. What does cactopod do? Like, what do you get with cactopod? Youngest person in chat gets last question. Typical, yeah. Ace Emily Gamer asks the hardest science question we've had all day. Why is chat so amazing? I think it's their big hearts and their big brains and their big beepuses just makes them so amazing. Okay. Thanks so much for this stream today. I was such a blast. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. Okay, chat, we're going to call it there. My goodness. Thank you guys so much for the stream today.